Hey everyone, my name is Jonathan Wells, and I wanted to share with you guys a little bit of my story while I'm sitting here waiting for my COVID test with 6 other people in front of me. So, wanted to, share a little bit of my story. I'm actually starting a YouTube channel here. We really want to model it after a couple of my favorite YouTube channels, which would be Valuetainment, Stephan, and, people like Gary Vee and stuff like that, where I can kind of bring some of my expertise, what I've dealt with over the last couple of years, which I'll get into in a minute here, some different life circumstances, some, views that I believe in, and hopefully it'll be able to help you guys out in your journey, whether you are someone trying to get, their adult life in order, trying to add on a couple of things for them to do, investing tips and, tricks and best practices, or just some common sense, items that I can share with you to the best of my ability. So I'm going to shoot this first video and kind of start a little bit about my story and give you guys some insight on that. So my name is Jonathan Wells, if you haven't, figured out already. I was born in New Orleans, Louisiana. And so I don't obviously have the New Orleans accent, indicative of me moving shortly after to Mississippi. So my dad was a pastor at the time. He went to seminary, and that's where I was born while he was over there. Then we ended up moving to Mississippi, where he pastored one of his first churches. And then a couple of years after that, we moved to Northwest Indiana. About, where we were at the time was, a little bit on the, central side of Indiana. So it was, pretty far back there in the woods. But we eventually worked our way around the Northwest Indiana territory, going to a couple different churches and stuff like that. So my first memories were from Indiana. Currently, I live right outside Chicago. So, I'm from the Midwest, basically, growing up and all that stuff. So, that's kind of, was my upbringing. And then what ended up happening was we lost our house in about 2010. So my dad was working 3 different jobs. The church he was at closed down during the time. He was also substitute teaching for some different schools in the area and working at a hotel, at night. So a lot of that whole, environment of seeing my dad going to work every single day and coming home for maybe 2 hours a day, when I was awake, and he would sleep probably about 5 or 6 hours a night and then go right back over to it. So that's where I got a lot of work ethic and kind of modeling the grind was from that. So fast forward, we are 2011. I'm actually living with my grandpa. We all moved into the back of his pole barn. No joke, this is what people do in Indiana. We slept in the back of a pole barn with no air conditioning for about a year. And no heat either. So it was pretty rough. So I've definitely dealt with a lot of different sides of life. So that was, really big lesson in, make sure you, don't take for granted what you have and everything like that. So during that time, I was baling hay for my grandpa. I was also working, doing homeschooled and all that stuff. And then ended up, playing soccer for a local Christian college, or not college, sorry, local Christian high school. And that's where I really got into fitness. And I thought fitness was going to be, what I wanted to do. So then, fast forward again, I'm getting out of high school. I don't really know exactly what I want to do. My dad had gotten a job at a mortgage company shortly after everything that happened with the house. So he was starting to do pretty well in the mortgage industry, told me I should get into it. I wasn't really sure at the time what I wanted to do. So I signed up with that. And I've been doing mortgages now since I was 18, but now I am 22. So I've been doing mortgages for about 4 years. So, that's really what my passion is finance and helping people out to, prevent situations like I was put into back in my childhood. Now, that's not to say I'm, ungrateful. I really think it was a great experience, and it's actually one of the best times of my life, to be honest with you. But, now I have a small team that I run. We close probably about 6 to 7, loans a month. So we help out a lot of different families with home ownership, whether it's helping them buy a new home or, refinance an existing home to further benefit, them to, achieve their short and long-term goals. So what I'm doing with this channel is I want to be able to break down, do a couple different things, probably some reaction videos, about finance, talking about, some financing options to give you guys some updates on the market and where things are going, and just all around general knowledge, and maybe even some interviews with local or national entrepreneurs. So really want to make sure we help you guys, have some extra content to understand that no matter what success anybody has, you guys can have the same success if you apply yourself, and give you some motivation along the way. So thank you so much. I will talk to you soon. Make it a great one. Bye.